Today we're going to be doing a reading journal entry on point of view. So you're going to need your reading journal and you're going to need this paper from your reading packet that says point of view. We're going to open up to our table of contents and go in and fill today. We should be on page 7 in our reading journal. Today is September 7th, and the entry is going to be called Point of View. Let's go ahead and turn to page 7. And you're going to go ahead and glue in this page and make sure that you put the page number up top. Okay? Point of view. We're going to write ourselves a little definition right here. The point of view tells who is telling the story. I'm going to highlight. Okay, writers choose point of view to tell the story, knowing that it will affect how the story is told. Okay, and we've got 3 different points of view: first person, second person, and third person. I want you to pay special attention to first person and third person because those are the ones that you really need to know for 4th grade. Let's start off with first person. Uses the pronouns I, me, or we. So when you're reading the story, you're going to hear that they're saying I, me, or we because the person telling the story is going to be the main character. Okay? I want you to be very careful because dialogue does not count. Let's write that down right here. Okay, and dialogue does not count because a story can be in third person, meaning someone who's not in the story is telling the story. But if a character is talking, they're going to use the words I, me, or we. Okay, so dialogue does not count for this. Let's go ahead and highlight this I, me, and we to help us remember that those are the ones we use for first person. Okay. In this one, the main character is the one telling the story. Sometimes you have to read back to the book or wait until another character is talking so that we can learn what the main character's name is because they're not going to call themselves by their own name. Okay, some advantages of reading a book with first person is that the reader inside the main character's head and can tell what he or she is thinking or feeling. A disadvantage is that we may not be able to tell what other characters are thinking or feeling. Okay. Second person is a lot like first person. It is the main character telling the story, but the narrator is also talking directly to the reader. So we're going to highlight that. The author talks directly to the reader. Okay. So they're going to use words like you, your, and yours when they're talking to the reader. Okay. The book that we're reading right now, The One and Only Ivan, is going to be second person. It's the main character telling the story, and he talks directly to us, the reader. Okay, and the last one we're going to do is third person. Third person uses pronouns like he, she, they, okay? And the author is a narrator telling the story, so someone who's not actually in the story. Okay, some advantages of reading something in third person is that we have a non-biased view of the characters and events. So because there isn't someone from the story telling the story, we don't get their opinions about the other characters. But we're also not completely inside the characters' heads. Okay, this week we're going to be reading 3 different stories that are going to be first person, second person, and third person. Our second person one is going to be the one and only Ivan, and then we're going to read 2 new stories of first and third person. So we're going to put a little reflection page on this side so that we can put things that we see that make them first person, second person, third person. So we're just going to take this line and we're going to extend it all the way out this way. Same with the third person one. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and title these. Our first person story this week is going to be Memoirs of a Hamster. Our second person story is the one and only Ivan. And our third person story is going to be Ferocious Fluffity. And throughout the week, we're going to be adding details, different pronouns that we see that support that the story is first, second, or third person. We can already fill out some things for the one and only Ivan that we've read that make it second person. At the very beginning, when Ivan introduces himself to us, he's already speaking directly to the reader. We already have evidence that it's second person. Okay, he says, I suppose you think gorillas can't understand you. Of course, you also probably think we can't walk upright. So we're going to go ahead and fill in that detail here. Go ahead and take a minute to fill in that detail. Now we're going to highlight things in this excerpt that support that this is second person. We know that the author is the narrator because he refers to himself. I suppose you think. Okay? But we also have him speaking directly to us. You, he's saying us. You think gorillas can't understand you. Of course, you probably think we can't walk upright. We've also got the we right here that supports that he, the author, is the one speaking. Later on in the week, when we read these stories, we'll go back and fill in the details that support that this is first person and third person.